Evening, everyone. Evening. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. I was gessoing. Yeah, I know, right? And I lost track of time. Oh, look. I have gessoed my phone. Right. Here we go. Are we good? Okay, so first of all, I want to say welcome to Try It Out Tuesday. If you haven't been to or you're on the Be Crafty page before, especially on a Tuesday evening, every single week on a Tuesday at 8 PM, you will find, more often than not, myself and occasionally someone else here on the Be Crafty page doing Try It Out Tuesday, where we have a play with products. Sometimes it's technique based, sometimes it's just, you know, let's get an art journal page done. But what it is you can ring us, message us, whatever, and say, I would like you to show how to use this or use these colours or whatever on Try It Out Tuesday. And that is what we'll do. However, this Try It Out Tuesday is a little bit different because it's coming at the end of our Facebook launch for February. Okay, today we have launched the beautiful Doodle Art Mandalas. Sorry, I'm now also trying to clean my glasses. Okay, we have got Mandalas number 1. Yeah, that's fine. And Mandalas number 2. Okay. Don't get me wrong, as the days progressed, I thought, you know what, it's too many mandalas. I should have whittled them down to less. And I was talking to Sam about this, and she went, oh yeah, which ones? And then I didn't have an answer. So, you know, best laid plans. Okay, so tonight I thought we would do some art journaling. Hi Bev, how's the day gone? It's gone long. I'm very tired now. I'm almost at the stage of catatonic, to be honest. But I'm alright. Honestly, I don't know where it's gone. It's gone so quickly. It's like when Dave left for work at 1 o'clock, I was like, I cannot believe that I finished my life 2 hours ago. Because I feel like I haven't stopped in between, but I've got nothing done. It's a very bizarre thing. So yes, Alison, you can never have enough mandalas. I agree, darling. But like I said, I was like, oh, have I made it, you know, is it too many? Should I have done smaller sets and just concentrated on a couple of different ones? And like I say, at which point Sam said, oh yeah, which ones were you picking? Well, I don't know. Sorry. If you're going to be the voice of reason, we really can't be friends. Right, I'm just trying to find somewhere to put my desk is a tip. We have reached that stage. I'm just trying to put my phone somewhere where I can see it. So I can see the comments. We wouldn't expect anything else. Thank you for a fab day. Okay, now the 6 o'clock and the 8 o'clock winners, they haven't been announced yet because every time I tried to edit it, my Facebook went weird and I didn't want to lose everybody's comments. So I'm going to... I have found my coffee stains, look! There was mucho excitement. Coffee stains. Fabulous. So yeah. So this is going to be our last live demo of the day. Please share if you can. And yeah, so we're going to do a journal page. This is actually going to be my first journal page in my blue journal. I saw Sam using hers earlier today, and I was like, do you know what? I still haven't put anything in mine. I think it's because after I finished my white 6x6, I was very much like, oh, I need to move on and then try and finish another journal. But you know, I would rather start a new one today because it's a special day. So yeah, we're going to go in here with some of our mandalas, and I've got some fab colours to play with, and we're going to play with some different sprays as well. However, because of my current state of, you know, not sure which way's up, anything could happen. All right. So first things first, I'm going to put a blending mat. So we're going to be working on this white cotton page here. Okay, so if you haven't seen the blue journals, let's take it right back. If you haven't seen the blue journals, this is a Dina Wakley media journal, but it is the blue edition. Now you may have seen me use the other edition lots of times, okay, which has got the different sort of textured pages and whatever, but this one has denim in it, okay? So you have the denim sheets. So the media journals are a multi-surface journal, which means you have lots of different surfaces to play with. So you have this really thick handmade cotton paper. This is heavier weight than in the media journal. It's more like the weight that's in the 6x6. Okay, I don't know if that's what it says on the thing, but that's how it feels to me. And it's a bit more uneven as well. So if you are stamping directly in it, you know, you are going to get bits that are missed maybe because of the undulation of the texture. But for me, that's a wicked thing because it adds even more texture. You know, if you wanted a perfectly crisp image or something like that, I would advise you, do we have any of the black ones in? Only the big 10x14s in black. That's all that came in on the last order. So we're sort of like a slave to what comes in terms of that. But yeah, we've got in the black, we've got the big 10x14s, or the birthday journal, as Sam refers to it, because I bought her one for her birthday 2 years ago. But no, we haven't got any of this size. Okay, I will say as well, if you do prefer to watch on YouTube, all of the lives and videos from today are already available on YouTube. Okay, so if you want to, because I know some of you find it easier to cast because you can cast YouTube to your TV easier. So if you do prefer to want to catch up on those on YouTube, all of today's lives are there, which means you can see everything that we've made with the Doodle Art Mandalas. All right. Shall we get started? Honestly, I'm so tired. I think it's trying to remember if I've said everything. Have I said everything? I've got no idea. Right, so I don't know if you'll recall, but last night when I was showing you all the samples and what have you, I also showed you some of the things I've been cutting out and layering up. Okay, so in there I've got these, okay, and these are a mix of mandalas 1 and 2. Now if you haven't seen these yet today, because I know a lot of you are obviously out at work and all this sort of thing, these are available on the website now, and there is a bundle deal for the 2. And not only that, if you're only getting stamps on the Be Crafty website, obviously we still do free P&P, which is great, because I tell you what, the post office does us none. So, you know, if you're like, do you know what, I've been thinking about these stamps all day, I'm definitely going to go for it, you can do that, and there's no P&P. All right, so this one here is from this mandala here. These 2 are from this one on set number 2. What I've also done is I've cut out some of the straight layers, like the card I was showing you this morning from Sue, where she's done it on acetate. That's not, I've done the opposite. So she's cut out the one with the bit with the squiggle on. I've cut the bit with the circle on. Okay, so the opposite bit. And as you can see, they're both straight lines. And that's what's so cool. Some of these mandalas, you know, they're quite intricate with a lot of the doodles they've got. But the actual cutting lines and colour, they're really, really easy, which is great. So we've got this. So I've done these in these 2, and then another centre here. Because on this mandala here, you've got all of these petals, as we call them, or as Sam calls them, and you can do them in lots of different colours, or you can pick out to do, for example, so in this one, how I've coloured it, there's 3 sort of different flowers. You've got this sort of daisy, this 4-petaler here, and this 4-petaler here. Okay, but on this one, I've cut them all out so that they're all sort of coloured as if they were the same sort of flower. All right, but on this one, I've just cut out the larger, wider petals. Okay, so it's just an 8th flower. But what you can do is you can layer up. I'm going to do it on my hand here, so that you actually put those petals in between the other ones that are there to give it almost more of a gerbera, because you've got all those petals. But again, you can take in other middles from other mandalas. It's not just about using each mandala and necessarily laying it up how it is. Okay, it's just mixing and matching as well. No dyes with these. Honestly, you don't need them, I promise. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to go along this sort of colourway. So a bit of purple, a bit of pink, a bit of blue, and then just to, you know, mix it up and risk a whole load of mud, a bit of yellow. Or a bit of a gold. It was only, if those who know, it was when I was colouring this in on Saturday. I was like flipping out of Pony Club colours. Hadn't noticed before. I was like, that's a really good colour combination. I've definitely seen that somewhere before. Yes, the Kids Pony Club tie. But yeah, but like I say, it just shows you that you can really sort of build them up and mix and match the build up. So for example, this one, because it alternates, you know, if you were to put those petals in how it alternates, you can change which one you see. Do you want to see the pink? Do you want to see the purple and blue? Because they all match on the axis. Okay? Yeah, this is the thing. You cut 4 sections out of each of the mandalas. It's like 48. And Jane was talking earlier about doing the maths about it. But I reckon with how you can mix and match the centres with other ones, you've literally got hundreds of different mandala combinations that you can put together. Snacks. I haven't got any snacks left, and I started the day off really good, and I did lunch really healthy, and then let's just say it all sort of fell apart after Dave went to work, and there was no witnesses. Okay, so what I've done is I have gessoed this page, okay, because I'm going to be going on here with Delusions as well, so I want to I don't want them all to soak through. I want them to sort of sit on top a bit. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to spritz on here with a little bit of water just to help them move on top. Okay. And then we're going to go in. So I'm going to go in first of all with the laid back lilac. Okay. And we're going to, oh, that's not very lilac. That's quite purple. Right, so we'll go in again. I don't want this to be massively intense. So this is the prize ribbon, but this is the spray stain. And we're going to put this in a couple of places here. And what I might do is just give that a little bit of a spray so it can move a little. And then we're going to go in with a bit of the Mingo. I think, Shireen, you mean a pinwheel. Okay. The Distress Spray. I did actually mean to get the Oxide. I meant to get the Kitsch Flamingo Oxide. Bear with. I guarantee you my craft room is not that large. Okay. So I'll go in with the Kitsch Flamingo. And then look how it's pulling the stain along with it. That's ace. I love that. Right. And I'm going to use a little bit. My watercolour cards disappeared. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm just going to run that back out that way. That's going to pull some of that blue through the Kitsch Flamingo. Okay. Now, one of the basics of colour theory is that purple is a danger colour, okay? So whether you're using your laid back lilacs, your villainous potion, anything like that, okay? Your purples are a dangerous colour because you add in anything sort of yellowy to a purple and that's when mud starts to appear. Okay? And obviously that's something we're generally trying to avoid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat what we've got on here before I add anything yellow. And in the yellows I have got a gloss spray as well as the mustard seed oxide. I've got the lemon gloss spray from Dina Wakeley as well as an oxide. Okay. Now what I love about this and how it goes on is you've got this lovely sort of blendy haze where the oxide sort of mixed with the spray stain and the villainous potion, and this sort of goes with something I was saying earlier this morning. Like we appreciate, or I definitely do, should I say? I shouldn't speak for other people, a bit rude. But I think we all do. I know I do. That, you know, when you're coming into crafting, especially now, or you're just starting out on your distress ink purchasing or your Delusions sprays or something, the colour palette's now quite large. For example, you know, I was lucky enough to start collecting it when it was new, so therefore there was only like a dozen colours to start with. So it's, you know, it's easy to start because you then, as they bring out new ones, it's the same every time. But the point I'm trying to make is, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, if you're starting and you want a few of each sort, don't buy the same colours, okay? So, for example, if your favourites are greens and yellows and blues, okay, I wouldn't buy, or I would buy those in the medium you want to try first, say Oxide sprays, and then say, right, but I'm going to get myself a couple of gloss sprays in some other colours, and that way you're covering your colour palette, but with a few different ranges. Yeah, so it gives you a couple of different sorts of products to play with, and like you see, you can mix them up. All right. So, like I say, this is a mix. How is the stain different? Okay, Caroline, no problem at all. So, what I'm using here, I've got 4 different sprays to use here. So let's pick them up, and I'll show you the different ones. Okay, so we've got distress spray stain. Okay, so this is basically the sprayable version of your distress ink. Okay, now using a re-inker and mixing it with water will not give you the same effect. Okay, the whole point of distress is it is reactive with water. All right, and if you mix your re-inker, for example, with water, you will get an alright colour, but it won't do any of the reactive things anymore, because it's already reacted with the water, whereas your distress spray stain will. Okay, so it'll still have all those reactive properties that we like from distress. Your distress oxide, same thing. It's like the oxide ink in a sprayable format. Okay, but again, it's not like using a re-inker mixed with water. It's formulated so you can still do all your water ghosting techniques and things like that with the oxide ink in a sprayable form. Okay. Then you have your Delusions Ink Sprays. Now, these are the sprays that introduced me to art journaling, basically. Okay, they are a really beautiful intensive ink. Again, they also are really great for doing water-based techniques. They travel really far. You get such good value out of them. They are really, really cool, and they're excellent for coverage. Okay. And then we have your gloss sprays. These aren't an ink at all. Okay, these are a glossy acrylic spray. So these will give you a sheen. These will give you a sort of nice gloss finish. Okay, that's not to say you can't use them at the same time you can use others, but you are going to get a sort of mixing effect, and you will get a resist effect with these because they are that acrylic spray. You've got to be really careful and clear of the nozzles. I promise I am. This has got a bit of a leak somewhere in the top. This one, I've never had it before with any others, but here we are. And you know, so they are a completely different thing because they're not an ink, they're an acrylic. Okay, excellent. Right, now I've got some ink on here that's leftover spray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and we're going to go straight on to where we've just come off from underneath, and what that's going to do is it's going to give me some of that Kitsch Flamingo on top of where our laid back lilac went. Alrighty. Now, before we get to putting on some of the yellow, because that's mostly going to be flicks and dots and this sort of thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my Tag Inkables and we're going to add on some other texture, and then we're going to go in with our mandalas and that sort of thing. Right, so we've got Tag Inkables here. Now, I've got all of my Tag Inkables here. Now, this is where I was wise. I used a Sharpie to say what number they are. Okay, so this one is from set 2. We do have the bundles back in stock. So you can find those on the website. I'm just going to find my brushes. And we're going to go for some prize ribbon. Let's go for them all. Let's go for some prize ribbon, some Kitsch Flamingo, and some, I don't know if the Villainous Potion is going to be a bit too much. Let's go for a Wilted Violet. It's a little bit lighter. It's not quite as intense. Okay, so let's do some Wilted Violet first. Ooh. And we'll go through this one. I absolutely love this one. It's one of my favourite to doodle through as well. So what I'm going to do with these is they're sort of going to go off the inky bit, but into this bit too. Okay? Because it just creates a beautiful sort of, again, one-dimensional layering. Which is one of my favourite things in the world. Okay. And then we'll go to our Kitsch Flamingo. And then I was playing with spray ink the weekend on jelly plates. Oh yeah, definitely watch some YouTubes. I'm sure you will find some more. I've been more using, I used the gloss sprays on my jelly plate. And I used acrylic paint with them. And that went well. But it's not good enough to make an actual technique just yet. What do we want? What do we want? Should we go for, I don't know whether to go number jumble or letter jumble. We'll go number jumble because Sam used the letter one earlier today, didn't she? I might even go through the front. So we're going to go in with our Kitsch Flamingo. Just to get a little bit. I love numbers. I have got my large numbers out. I haven't decided if I'm going to use them tonight yet. Okay, and then I might as well just clean off the brush. Okay. Whoosh. And then we'll take some of our prize ribbon. And we'll go with, I know what I'm looking for. Where did it go? I'm missing one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm missing 2. Where are they? Well, that's annoying. Right, okay. So we'll go for instead then that one. Or no, I tell you what, I've changed my mind already. We'll go with this one from number 2 because what's cool about this one is you've got the almost like the 2 different sorts of circles, which are really handy. So it means you can go for something a bit more intricate, or you can do the whole thing, obviously. So we'll go up here. I think that's going to give a sort of mandala effect, isn't it? And then, yeah, I'm not going to reapply the ink because it seems quite drossy. Anyway, and then I'm going to give this a bit of a spray. Putting that in there just to give it a little look. Alright, why is it our favourite ones we've misplaced? I don't know, because we grab them in a hurry, use them, and then don't put them back properly. That's why. So you can see, whereas you couldn't really see that to start with, how it's dried, you can really see that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Distress Oxide Mustard Seed. Okay. I'm going to, no, that wasn't what I wanted to do. There we go. And we're going to put, in fact, we're going to use both of these. And we're going to literally, that's it. That's all I want. Okay. Right, I might as well put that and that in there. So I'll lose these now as well. And we'll give that a quick spray. I was going to say, did anyone see what I did with my sprayer? There we go. Put them there, and then we'll heat set this. Now, the beautiful thing about oxides, okay, is, you know, you can layer dark to light. You know, you can layer slightly differently because they are more opaque. Alright? But you still want to heat set in between, I think, if you're going with a yellow on top. Otherwise, you are going to lose some of that. And you might not want to. I didn't. I actually really wanted the yellow to show. And then I'm going to get the gloss. And where this is going to be, I flicks it, and because they're glossy, you see, you're going to get a sort of different texture with these. Now, because I gessoed before I started adding all my inks, these should sit on okay without soaking in too much. Now, the advice from Dina Wakely is do not force dry these. Obviously, you're heating acrylic, so you do have to be really careful. But in all honesty, I don't force it dry, I just encourage it dry. But what I'm telling you is the official advice from the lady whose name is on the bottle is do not heat them. Allow them to dry on their own. Okay? And that way there is no confusion. I have told you what she said. Okay. Let's just give that a minute. And while that's waiting, what we're going to do is we're just going to put that on there. And really... yeah, I'm probably just going to leave that in there for a while. Right. Where's my clip? Who knows? There it is. I'm going to clip that back down. Okay, so I've just noticed I've got oxide spray all over my phone. Alrighty, so now we're going to go to the Mandala Stamps, the absolute hero of the day. They're so beautiful. As I'm sure you can appreciate, you know, it's one of those things when you are designing stamps and whatever, it's picking which ones to go where. And like I said to Sam earlier, oh, maybe we should have only chosen a few. And, you know, made smaller sets. And like I say, she brought me down to reality quite swiftly with, oh yeah, which ones? Well, I don't know, I was just saying. So, you know. I was just saying. And then, as normal, your big sister can be relied upon to bring you back down to earth exceedingly quickly. With a thud, in actual fact. Right. So, I'm going to use this little circle one here. And yes, I know they're all circles. This is like my super duper circle one because it's made in lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of little circles. Okay, and we're going to work our way down the page, stamping this one on. Now, like I said, this is a really textured surface, so you're not going to get a perfect image every time. So if you want that, my advice is to go on with collage paper or some sort of tissue. But in fairness, it's coming out very, very nice for me. I'm quite pleased. If you've designed so many mandalas, honestly, Sue, there's loads of them. Literally loads. This is the problem. It's like I've got another range I was finishing off last week. And Sam had to pick out of those as well. She gets very upset. And why do I have to pick? Because you won't draw faces. That's why. Okay. So you can see. Yeah, but that's the whole point, Noreen. You want it all. You haven't got a big sister to be the voice of reason. Generally, I don't either, because like I say, she wasn't willing to pick. What can I do? What can I do? I will say the other mandala sets we won't do 2 at a time. There will just be 1 at a time. Even we're not like that. Well, we are, but we'll try not to be. Okay, so from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pattern build slightly with some of the smaller ones, and then start randomly putting them. So this one, this has been called many things today, like the like a vinyl record, like the rings in a tree, like bark, age rings. You know, and I think it would work really well for both, actually. I really do. And then on this one, I'm going to take a minute just to show you something that I've shown you already, but I really want to show you again. And then I think this one. This one, I'm going to get my unicorn white, if I can see it. If I can't, it won't be. I had my unicorn white out. Absolutely sure. Did you see? There it is. I put it away. I was never going to find it. Did you see the unicorn white sort of lace effect Sam made with this stamp today? Absolutely stunning. Like I say, you can catch up with that on YouTube, or it is now on. Sorry, you can catch up with that on Facebook, or it is now on the YouTube channel. Yes, this is so good, so good. All right. Asked hubby, I won't say what he suggested I got. Oh, bless him. Do you know something? 9 times out of 10, being the person it shows and stuff, it's usually, you know, sat or stood talking to spouses whilst their respective other half is shopping on the stand or things like that. Do you know, 9 times out of 10, I honestly think they just like to open their mouth and let the belly rattle, because honestly, I start talking to them and they go, do you know what? As long as she's happy. And they do. They really, really do. Right. So I think what we're going to do now is start adding on some of these cut out ones to sort of create more of a page. But I think what I might do is go for adding some of them on top. Oh, Sam, you did actually want me to see. I reckon that one there would fit, is actually smaller than the coffee stain. You want to see if any fit inside the coffee stain? Lots of them fit inside the coffee stains of the different sizes. You could sort of add coffee stains on the side of them and doodle them in. That's a good idea. Anyway, right. I'm actually sort of in love with that one on there, so I'm going to stick that down before I change my mind. Probably not if I can't find any gel medium though. What's that? It's crazy medium. That will have to do. Oh, I've got a big thingy of glue. Where is all my collage medium? See, this is the problem. I spend all weekend in here tidying and I can't find a flipping thing. You know, what is that? Can't find a flipping thing. Oh dear. Nope, it'll have to be my little jar of crazy medium. That's absolutely fine. I can apply that with a palette. No. Okay. Man crush at the shows. But again, to be honest, like I say, they come round and they're like, oh, my crazy medium's gone solid. I'm having an evening, it would seem, with collage mediums. Please bear with me. I'm just going to pause, just have a think about where I put my collage medium. Honestly, I can't see it. Right, I've got some white glue, so we will use that for now. Right, so I'm going to put that there. Kind of like that in that bottom corner. See this, I'm not sure whether. Take that one out of the mix. Sort of. How do I cut that one in half and put it in two separate bits with that one there? Should we cut it in half? I think we should cut it in half. Okay. Yeah, we're doing it. Let me giant pair of scissors. Everybody was ridiculing me for this morning. Oh, there they are. Yeah, that's just because I was blind. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight up that axis. I realised how rude that sounded after I said it. It wasn't intentionally rude. I literally was cutting it up the centre axis. I'm going to stop talking now. Because I know if Shireen gets hold of me talking about things, yeah, I'm not going to, yeah, okay. So, I'm going to put this one on here. And then the Flying Scotsman is coming through the village. Yeah, it is. That means there will be a lot of people stood on the bridge that we have to drive over. Bless them. Waiting for the train. And it's like, dudes, yeah, it's a fantastic thing to see, but it's easier to see if you're not squished. Don't stand in the middle of a road. Okay. And if you look, the lines on this stamp here, which was the sort of the 3-layer one from Mandala 1, perfectly matches up with these lines here from that Mandala on Mandala 2. And obviously that was completely intentional. It was not an accident at all. You know, I am actually just that lucky. Right. And then this one, I think we're going to go in the middle of here. Now you can see with these I have added lots, but these were really quick to colour. I have added white dots, but honestly it was so easy and so quick to do. Okay, right, that was so much fun cutting that in half. I'm going to do it to this one as well. That's so good. Right. So these have been coloured with a mix of the Crayola Super Tips I was showing you this morning, my Sakura Stardust, which is the pink on here, my white Posca pen, just looking to see if there's anything else, but I think that's it. But I think that's the beauty of them. Okay. They are so simple to use, so easy to use, but they look really intricate. That, you know, but I've put all that detail in, and you can either choose to use it or choose not to. It's totally your choice, which is absolutely fantastic. Right, we need some words, but I think I'm going to go. I'm going to look for something a bit bigger. So, I wish I knew where my Excel creativity words were, because that would be perfectimo. Have a little look in this drawer that I know they're not in, but you know. As people always say when you're looking for something, it's got to be somewhere. God, I hate that. It's got to be somewhere. Well, yeah, I know it's got to be somewhere. I don't think it's just zapped out of existence. But here we are. Here we are. Right, okay. New plan. So I'm going to go to my typewriter Alpha, and we're going to make some words. And I don't mean just make some up, I mean we're going to actually use proper words, but ones that we've made ourselves with our stamps. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that to the side and give that a bit of an opportunity to dry. Okay, and when I say to the side, that's just going to rest down there just a second. And then I'm going to go to my new white pieces to use folder. Wonder how long that'll last. And we will have what should we put? So this is my new favourite saying. Okay, I'm not even gonna. You can try and put these straight if you want by, for example, just using a straight edge. So I'm using the bit of card that we're going to stamp on. You can just put these on and work along the lines, and then your word should be in a relatively straight line. See, I need 2 C's for this word. Okay, practice, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll put one in the gap while I put the E in. Okay, and then take it out. And then I'll use... I know you have nothing appropriate, Sam. Note, I did not ask you for a word. Okay. No need that one. Okay. So, who was watching this morning, or who watches the Girls Pony TikTok? Practice makes what? Practice makes what? We got improvement. There we go. In fairness, Alison was close with progress. Okay. Basically, I found this TikTok sound. Okay. And it's obviously this motivational speaker guy. And he's talking to the group. And he says, right, practice makes what? And the group goes, perfect. And he goes, nope, you need to abandon that as your belief system. He says, practice makes improvement. He says, you never stop learning. You never stop being able to make yourself better. And that's true. And that is honestly, it's absolutely true. Because let's face it, where would the fun be in that? There's always new techniques to learn or reimagine or reinvent. Okay? It's all about constantly, you know, just trying to learn something new. Sammy, practice makes us all just a little bit better than we were before we started. Yeah. And and I have to say, one of my favourite ones, okay, is you're already doing better than someone who isn't even trying. Okay? You're already better than that. So, this is the cool thing about the Typewriter Alpha. It's a really popular font that I've done a couple of different word sets with, some of which we're going to be relaunching this year because lots of people have been asking for them. Do you know what? I'm just going to do improve and then meant on the end because I'm having to redo several of the letters. Because lots of people have been asking for us to relaunch them. But, so, that says impove. I forgot the R. And now I'm going to have to wipe that ink off. Too busy talking. Not enough spelling. Hey, at least I noticed before I actually put it on. None of you did. Hee. Blame Sam, blame. Dear. Right. Improve. Yeah, so basically, when I did, back to the story I was talking about, you know, I've done a couple of sets with these and people are like, oh, they're really nice, but, you know, if I had an alphabet, I could make whatever words I want. I could do names, I could do this sort of thing. Okay? Sam, that says blame Gam. Just saying. Says blame Gam. And I think you mean blame game. Or were you just seeing if I was paying attention? Of course you were. Of course you were. Right. So I'm just going to give that a quick heat set. You know, I don't want to get any ink on my fingers. No, it doesn't. What does it say then? There isn't an E on the end. Right, so back in with the big scissors. Okay, sorry, I'm just checking a comment. Here we go. What does that one say? Thank you so much for today, for all the hard work, etc. Nothing to do with today, but... Okay, what came after the but? What came after the big but? I've missed something. But would like to take this opportunity to say thank you. Aw, you're very welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Only seen half the live is busy. It happens. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go out the way actually. And this one. So we're going to go in the way. Do you realise that I've probably taken longer on this blooming these words than I have on the rest of the page? And I know the rest of the page is probably what most people says takes them the time, but it's always the words for me. Right, pick that up. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, will she cut that off? No, she won't. She'll try and leave it there forever, and then it'll break off, and then she'll be sad. Right. Because that's how we roll in the Shire. Yeah, me and Yanis, that was funny that day. Bless him, I mortified him. It was pretty mean. But it was funny. And I think this brings a bit of white back into the page, because we all know I'm not very good at leaving any white space. So I think by doing these slightly bigger sentiments, because the colour did sort of go a lot further than I was originally planning. So I think by putting these quite large sentiments in the white, it does sort of bring some of that white back to this page, which I'm really happy with. I have to say, cutting these in half, absolute joy. I might add in some sequins. I totally forgot how funky this alpha set is. It's so good. Why don't we make more alpha sets, Sam? We should totally do that. Like, totally. Alright. It's a pretty big butt. Yeah, so bless him. This was like on a live show. Yeah, we were talking and something was selling out, and he said, we've managed to get some on extended delivery, but, and it's a pretty big but. And I went, alright, Yanis, I'm right here. Right? You know, implying he was talking about my oversized backside. Which was really mean, because obviously that's not what he meant. And he was just mortified. But I'd already said it. It was one of those things. Usually I'm pretty good. I've got a pretty good filter a lot of the time, which is good, because some of my thoughts are well dodgy. But I've got a pretty good filter most of the time. But the filter, my gob just worked faster than my filter that day. And I knew once I'd said it, and once I'd said it, that was it. I'll just lay on the counter laughing. Fun times. Right, I think what I am going to have to do though is I'm going to have to make a small mandala piece for that straight edge, like a little centerpiece. See, like this center here. Almost just do a little centerpiece from there. Have I got anything already cut out? Or anything already started? See, that's green, so that's not going to work. And that's that one. See, I just don't think that's going to be... Right, so here, on this one, this is when I was making these yesterday. So what I did, this is stamped with VersaFine Clair on Ecoline paper. So this is the first generation, and this is a second generation stamp, so that's not grey, that's VersaFine Clair stamped the second time. Okay? So I think what I'm going to have to do is work my way, just go around this edge. Now this is the cool thing, because these are the doodle art, you've actually got on every single line to cut out, on every single shape you want to cut out, there's 3 lines, okay? Because that's what I do on doodle art, I do 3 lines. Or is that going to be too much? So on those 3 lines, you know, you can cut out whichever one you want. Okay, so if I just colour in that side there. I'm going to go around that middle. I've got to move my arm. I've got this trapped nerve in my arm. It's been trapped for about 6 weeks now, and it's driving me nuts. I keep getting a tingle. Okay, and then we can go in with our yellow. So that's probably going to be a bit too yellow. Let me grab this one. I just thought that straight edge just didn't really go with the rest of the page. And we'll go around the centre. There, and then do I have a blue? So you see, colouring in those circles on that bit is actually just a straight line. And then maybe with... Oh, I've missed one. Okay. And then I'm just going to go in with a bit of a blue stardust here. Okay. So, I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to write a number on it. How many people have we got on? 32 at the minute. Okay, so a number between 1 and 32. I'm going to write a number. Okay, so the first person to say this number is going to win, because I cheated, we've got one more giveaway. Is going to win a brand new Dragonfly art stamp. So go on, numbers between 1 and 32, go. While I put my dots in. No. Shireen Broadhurst. It's number 13. And there we go. Okay. You gotta love it. That's a really good way of doing it. Because that way, no one has to come back later and I don't have to draw straws. 13, look, I got married. In fairness, if you know me, it was a bit of a treat. But nobody does. I got married on Friday the 13th. Okay. So, this live will be going straight onto Instagram now. If you're catching up with us on YouTube is what I mean. If you're catching up with us on YouTube, feel free to join us live every Tuesday night at 8 PM on the Be Crafty Facebook page, where we make things and chat, and it's very good fun. Okay, so yeah, I was going to say she can't blame us now, can she? Thank you so much to everyone who has joined us throughout the day as we launched the beautiful Doodle Art Mandalas. I absolutely love them. I'm really, really proud of them, and I want to say an absolutely massive thank you to the creative team for their wonderful samples, of course, but I think a bit of an extra special one to Anne, Sally and Jane for doing their videos and their lives today as well. Giving up their time for that. I would thank Sam, but you know, she kind of asked her. But no, honestly, I think the creation, the lives today have been amazing. Thank you so much for interacting with us as well. It doesn't stop here though. Obviously, you feel free to catch up, comment, and if we can give you any help, we will. But you know, absolutely brilliant. Something we I want to use the word suffer from, but that's not quite what I mean. Suffer from is people seem to think we're a bigger business than we are, and we're not. We're a really small family business, which, you know, so anytime you comment or share or interact with any of our social media posts, it helps us. It really does. And we really, really appreciate all of that. Okay, so thank you again for joining us today. Remember, practice makes improvement. And yeah, what a day. Right, so on the back of that, the rest of the week, I have been crafting together with All Brands tomorrow at 2 PM. I'd love to tell you I won't be using my mandala stamps, but that's probably not true at all, because I probably am. So, you know, if you're looking for any more inspiration, I will be there. Jane will be here on Thursday. Who knows what that lady's got in store with her heat gun of doom. And then Sam will be back at Chit Chat Friday. On Friday, funnily enough, probably around 2 PM, but she will confirm that. And she's probably going to look as shattered as me. But then again, that's just her general day-to-day look. Poor sausage. So, okay, guys, thank you so much again. Bye!